I was wondering what became of the Dodge brothers. Similar to the current COVID-19, the Spanish flu had significant consequences all over the world beginning in the year 1918. While attending a vehicle show in New York City in 1918, the month of January 1920 saw both John and Horus. Some believe that Dodge became ill. This is the final portion of the Spanish flu that murdered millions of people. A few days later, John passed away, diagnosed with pneumonia at the age of 55. Horus made a full recovery from the influenza and pneumonia, despite being ill for almost a year. Before they passed away at the age of 52, their deaths shocked automakers in the United States and brought to a halt plans to alter the manufacturing process of automobiles. The Dodge brothers were considered to be a brand that represented the beginning of the American dream, from a lowly beginning to a very wealthy position. They were rough and thirsty individuals hailing from Niles, Michigan. John Dodge was born in 1864 and Horus Dodge in 1868. Their family had a history of working with machines. The brothers were both skilled, while Jan was quiet and adept at fixing things. Horus had a fiery temper. Despite their differences, the two of them were frequently seen together and shared their red hair. Although they were quite prosperous, the Dodge brothers never truly adjusted their rough working-class style. It was written about in 1910 by a newspaper, describing their involvement in a heated altercation in a bar. John Dodge apologized to the tavern's proprietor but threatened him after paying for the damage. There was also a time when Horus, in a fit of rage, brought down a man who had been mocking him because he was having trouble starting his Ford car. The residents of Detroit and New York City were familiar with them due to their constant drinking and competing in speedboat races while wearing stylish suits. Despite their immense wealth, they weren't welcomed by the high society in Detroit. When a posh club wouldn't let Horus join, he built a large mansion nearby with a spacious garage and testing place solely to demonstrate their presence. Moreover, they were supporters of the Detroit Symphony and helped construct the Dodge Symphony Hall. The brothers quickly established themselves in Detroit. After John moved there in 1886, Horus joined him the following spring. They were smart, driven, and hardworking. Jan became a foreman, while Horus was earning $16.50 per week working in a boiler manufacturing job that paid $13.50 per week. It was in 1892 that they began working for a machinery manufacturer located in Windsor across the river from Detroit. Additionally, they established the Evans and Dodge Bicycle Company, wishing to profit from the expanding popularity of bicycles. They'd opened their shop in 1900, confident in their advertising in Detroit that they could perform any kind of work. They quickly became well known for the superior quality of their products. Within a year, they secured a contract with Ransom E to produce automobiles for his company. Not long after that, they began producing transmissions. Likewise, in February 1903, they secured another major contract from Henry Ford to create parts for his new automobile, the Model A. Since Ford had tried and failed twice before to start an automobile firm and frequently got into conflicts, the Dodge brothers were concerned when they made a deal with him in June 1903. Ford owed them over $7,000. They chose to cancel that loan and lend him another $3,000, but in return, they received 10% of Ford Motor Company's shares for 10 years. The Dodge brothers were employed by the majority of automakers, and even John Dodge became a vice president. But by 1910, the factories were unable to meet demand, so they established a massive up-to-date factory in Hamtramck, close to Detroit. By 1913, they had 2,500 workers and were the most important market for automobile components in the U.S. They had achieved extraordinary wealth, not only since moving to Detroit, but also, as John joked, that they were sick of being poor. Because of their strong connection to Henry Ford, the Dodge brothers decided to break their agreement with Ford and launch their own automobile company. A corporation with ambitious aspirations expanded its manufacturing facilities, planned a new vehicle, and acquired the necessary tools to construct it. Officially, the Dodge Brothers Motor Car Company was introduced in 1914, announced in the Saturday Evening Post. It was in August when they began marketing, stressing that Dodge Brothers automobiles were dependable and constructed with care. They did not display any pictures or provide a great deal of information at first, but held interviews and distributed press releases to magazines to generate hype. The Dodge brothers were quickly recognized as the two most skilled mechanics in Michigan. As soon as the Dodge brothers vehicle was brought out, there was no doubt that it would be the finest deal available on the market. The first Dodge dealership opened in Detroit in November, and the new Dodge automobile was displayed. Over 6,000 people visited in just one day to see the 5-passenger touring car, which instantly became popular. It had a potent 4-cylinder engine that produced 35 horsepower and a price tag of $785. In contrast to the Ford Model T, which cost $490 and only had 20 horsepower, the Dodge was equipped with a 12-volt electric starter, an electrical system, and a speedometer. It was also the first automobile to feature an all-steel body manufactured by the Dodge brothers. Except for the bodywork, everything for the car, including the tires, glass, lights, and batteries, was made by them. The Dodge brothers faced fierce competition from automobiles in the $676 to $875 price range. Their market share grew to 15.5% in 1915 and almost 20% in 1916. Despite not selling their autos in a state of discouragement, they expanded their market to over 50 nations and directed their products at various markets, including airplanes, communication, shipping businesses, taxi franchises, and lines. The Dodge brothers' business began with 5,000 staff members but quickly expanded to over 7,000 within a short period. By mid-1919, they employed a total of 177,000 workers in their factories. Their Hamtramck factory was one of the few firms, along with Ford, to employ black laborers. Furthermore, they constructed the initial test track on their factory grounds. The Dodge brothers did not release any new types of automobiles. Instead, they focused on improving the quality of their existing automobiles every year. They'd also expanded their scope to incorporate other vehicles, including automobiles and trucks. This tactic proved successful, and their revenues increased from slightly over $1 million in 1915 to $16.61 million in the same period. In 1920, their automobile production grew from 370,000 to over 145,000. John and Horus Dodge had established a remarkable enterprise. By 1919, their fortunes had risen sharply around the time that Henry Ford purchased their shares for $25 million in cash accumulated from the dividends they had earned over the years. They made a shocking $32 million from their initial financial commitment of just $10,000 in 1903. However, when John and Horace passed away, their wives inherited the business. Without the brothers' management, the company struggled. It was advised by a financial expert in 1925 that the widows sell their interest in the mutual fund business. After 3 years, Walter P. Chrysler Jr. purchased Dodge for a cash payment of $170 million. The legacy of the Dodge brothers is a testament to the American dream. From their humble beginnings in Michigan to becoming pioneers in the automobile industry, John and Horus Dodge built an empire that changed the landscape of manufacturing. Their dedication to quality and innovation not only set new standards in the industry but also left an indelible mark on American history. Though their lives were cut short, their impact endures through the vehicles that still bear their name, a symbol of their extraordinary journey from working-class roots to industrial giants. The Dodge brothers' story is a powerful reminder of what can be achieved with vision, hard work, and a relentless drive to succeed. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.